Hello! Today we are looking at the Cambridge IGCSE music listening paper. We're looking at a section B and we are re-diving into Arabic music. So of course we already looked at an example of an Arabic music tradition extract example, but today we are looking at yet another one. This one comes from November 2021, paper 1-3, and of course then at this time all the audio tracks were available for full view, full use, full listening on the Cambridge School Support Hub. I'm linking their website in the description below, and today no track list for us as in the previous example of Arabic music, but we definitely can fully listen to the track that was provided on the CD for this batch of students in November 2021. So what we're going to go ahead and do is look at our questions, and we're going to listen to our listening and answer the questions. Okay, so we are dealing with a section B1 here, which means this is the first section out of the world music section. We're dealing with general world music, so let us look at our questions. So first things first, we have a little disclaimer. We will hear an extract for voices and instruments. Okay, so we know what we're prepared for. Then, what is the texture of the music at the start of the extract? And because this is already a section in world music, we can almost guess that it's going to be heterophony. But let's not jump to conclusions, let's wait for the extract. Okay, so question 9, which is the second question under B1. Which of the following best describes the melodic shape of the first vocal phrase? So they say after a repeated note, the melody does what? So we have to tick a little option there, so we need to keep our ears open to that. Question 10, comment in detail on the use of call and response by the voices. Call and response is another one of those techniques that can be used in multiple world music genres. So I'm thinking, could this be an African piece? Could this be an Arabic piece? Before I already hear the extract. So we can think about that. Of course, we know in this video we're dealing with Arabic music, so it's going to be an Arabic extract, but they do tell us to comment on how this extract uses call and response. Then question 11a, what culture does this music come from, or from which culture does this music come? So here they don't ask it to us as in an era, or which tradition does this come from, or from where does this music come. They actually just ask us specifically culturally. So interesting, they can ask it to us in that way as well, but we do know that it comes from Arab culture, so we can definitely go ahead and write down Arab culture already. And then we have to give a reason for our answer, and we're not allowed to repeat any information that's already given in our answers. So let's go ahead and jump into the listening, and then we will actually answer these questions. So they look like quite nice questions.
Now listen to music B1 and answer the questions.
Okay, so a very cut off snippet there at the end. Luckily, with the new way of asking things, as of November 2023, we get our own track list. We can listen to our own version of a specific song, of which they give us the title, and then we don't have to cut it off in a random place, as Cambridge sometimes does. Okay, so we will start at the top. I think that was a very straightforward extract, and I actually don't think we need to listen to that again. I think we can answer all these questions by just having listened to it once. It's really not a crazy out there extract or difficult extract on which to answer the questions. So let's go ahead and answer question 8. What is the texture? And just like we thought, it is heterophonic texture, or it uses heterophony. And that just means that it has different variations or different versions of the same melody at the same time. And this could be done by the voices and the instruments, various voices and instruments at the same time. So we don't necessarily need to explain that, but we do need to give our texture word heterophony. Then question 9, which of the following best describes the melodic shape of the first vocal phrase? So they either ask us, does the melody ascend or descend firstly, and then does it do so by leap or step? So there's definitely no leaping here. The intervals are very much next to each other. And at first I'm hearing that the melody descended and then it ascended, and everything is mostly done by step. So we're going to tick that option. Then comment in detail on the use of call and response by the voices. Okay, so this is after the instruments first start and the voices come on in. And of course we see in brackets there that we need to give 2 facts because they do give the number 2 in brackets. So for all the questions, watch out for the mark allocation or the number in brackets, because that will tell us how many marks each question is worth and how many facts we need to give for such a question as this. So for instance, the response is done by a number of voices. So it's a group of voices, we can't really pinpoint how many, but it is done by a group of voices. It's very repetitive, they do sing in unison. So even though we can hear a single melody going on there in the voices with the response, we can hear that it's not just done by one voice, it's done by multiple voices singing the same thing. The group copies, of course, the call. So whether that be part of the call or the whole call, the group responds to the call, which is of course what you expect in call and response. There's a call, then there's a response. So the response is based on the call. It either repeats the call here or it repeats part of the call. You can go ahead and put that down. And then because we are in heterophonic texture, the call and response, they do overlap at times, and that is something very cool. That is something very world music like because of the heterophony going on there. And any of those 2 will give you your mark. Then of course our last 2 questions, from which culture does this music come? And it is Arab culture. You can also say Arabic culture. And then we do have to give a reason for our answer, only worth 1 mark, 1 fact here, but we can't repeat anything that we've already said. So we can't say anything about call and response, we can't say anything about heterophony, because we've mentioned that before. So let us put down a reason that we haven't put down before. So for me, definitely the pitch bending here, the use of quarter tone intervals, what they call maqam in Arabic. That is definitely a reason for why we can explain that this is an Arabic tradition piece of music. We can also comment on the fact that the melody uses a small range of pitches, and this is definitely a broader idea or technique surrounding world music, but it definitely comes up here, so you can put that down as an answer. You can also note the short phrases and the highly rhythmic elements that come up in the extract. That all links specifically directly to Arabic music. Of course, you could use those reasons for other types of music, whether it be Western art music or any type of world music, but it does relate to Arabic music here, so you can put that down. Remember, we only need 1 fact here, and then Cambridge will give you your mark. So I hope that does help you when it comes to Arabic listening and the Cambridge IGCSE music paper. Remember to check out the previous video on Arabic music. I do discuss the full layout of the Cambridge paper in that video, and I do wish you all the best in preparation for your IGCSE music paper.